Welcome to our channel. Let's unlock your knowledge with Tally Unlock.
In this video, you will learn how to record day-to-day transactions in Tally. So I'll show you how to record the following transactions. This lecture is continuation of the exercise which I gave you in the previous section. So before we proceed to record these entries, let's check if we have entered everything properly or not. In the exercise, you were asked to create some ledgers with its opening balance. So to check whether everything is okay or not, you need to check the trial balance of your company. To check the trial balance, navigate to the display option over here and press enter, and select trial balance and press enter. So you can see that the final total is 2,60,000, which is matching on both debit side and credit side. And in order to check the balance ledger wise, press the F5 key. So this is how your solution should look like. We will further check the profit and loss statement and balance sheet report as well. To do so, press the escape key until you reach the gateway of Tally, and we will first check profit and loss statement. So go to profit and loss account and press enter. Now press Alt F1 to expand the details. So this is the profit and loss statement from 1st April to 1st June. So you can see that all the relevant ledgers for profit and loss statement are updated over here. Now let's check the balance sheet report. Press the escape key and select balance sheet and press Alt F1 to expand the details. So this is the balance sheet report as on 1st of June 2019. If you are unable to view closing stock information, then press the F11 key and set the option maintain accounts only to yes. And after changing that option, press Ctrl A, and after that you would be able to see the closing stock information. Now to record the day-to-day transactions, I am going to use the same company. I want you to remember this information in balance sheet report and in profit and loss statement, because as and when I record the entries, that information will be updated. So the objective of this section is to make you aware of Tally's environment as to how you record entries in Tally and how information gets updated and how to read the same. Now let's proceed to record the entries. To record day-to-day entries, you need to select the option Accounting Vouchers at the gateway of Tally. So navigate to the option Accounting Vouchers and press enter. The screen for accounting voucher creation will appear. Right now I am in the payment voucher creation screen. The name of the screen will be displayed on the top left corner. The payment voucher is used for recording all the expenses of an organization. Like payment voucher, there are vouchers for recording different transactions. For example, to record all incomes, we use the receipt voucher. To record all the sales, we use the sales voucher. To record purchase, we use the purchase voucher. So these vouchers can be accessed from here. So you can either click on the voucher that you want to access. For example, if I want to access the receipt voucher, I need to click on the button over here. Alternatively, you can press the shortcut key which is present against each kind of voucher. For example, if I press the F5 key, I would be able to access the payment voucher. Now let's record the transactions and understand how each voucher is used. Now let's record the first entry. The first entry is a capital investment entry. The entry says that the owner has further invested capital worth 1 lakh rupees. So the effect is that there is an increase in cash to the business. To denote cash receipt, we use the receipt voucher, and the journal entry should be cash account debit to capital account credit. So let's record this entry in Tally now. So right now I am in the payment voucher creation. To open receipt voucher, I will press the F6 key. First thing that we will do is we will change the date. So we will set the date of the transaction, which is 5th of June 2019. To change the date, we press the F2 key and then specify the date, 5th of June 2019, and press enter. Now press enter to navigate further. In the credit field, select the capital account. So you can either type the words capital. So as soon as you type the ledger name, so the list of the ledger will get filtered, and press enter. So you can see that as of now there is a balance of 30,000 rupees in the capital account, and type the amount in the credit field, 1 lakh rupees, and press enter. Now in the debit field, press enter and type cash. Notice that the balance in cash account was 50,000 earlier, and now it is 1,50,000. And similarly, the capital account will reflect the updated amount. So earlier it was 30,000, now it is 1,30,000 rupees. Now press the enter key. So the field narration will be highlighted. Over here you can type a short message related to this entry, so that you can remember why you have made this entry. So this is an optional field. In case if you want to type anything, you can just provide the narration over here and then press enter. Tally will prompt you to save this entry. Press Y to accept this entry, or press N to stay in the voucher creation screen. So I'll just accept the entry. So once you save the entry, you can further record other received entries or other entries. Now let's record another transaction. So in this transaction, the business purchased machinery worth 3,000 rupees. So the effect is that there is an expense to the business and we are making a payment towards it. So we will use the payment voucher to record the payment entry. So the entry should be machinery account debit to cash account credit. So let's see how to record this entry in Tally. So right now I am in the receipt voucher screen. I will press the F5 key to access payment voucher creation. We will first change the date to the entry's date, which is 12th of June, and press enter. We need to debit the machinery account, but you can see that in the list of ledgers, machinery account doesn't exist. So in order to record any entry, you need to have its ledger created. So we need to create the ledger machinery account. To create the ledger, press Alt C. So you will be presented with ledger creation screen. So here we can create the ledger. Now let me provide the details. All assets must be grouped under fixed assets, and the remaining options are not relevant for this ledger, so I'll just skip them. Alright, so the machinery account ledger is created now. Record the amount as rupees 3,000 and press enter, and credit the cash account. Now from here, either you can provide the narration or you can just simply save the entry by pressing Ctrl A. So that entry just got recorded. Alright, now let's record the next entry. So the entry is related to a purchase, and the invoice number for this purchase is 100, and the invoice was generated on 1st of July, an entry was recorded on 2nd of July. We will use the purchase voucher to record this entry. In Tally, you can record purchase and sales in 3 modes. Number 1, you can record the entry by means of a journal entry. Number 2, you can record the list of items which you have purchased. So here you don't have to record the journal entry. So in this mode you can just enter the list of the items which you have purchased, and the purchase entry will be recorded in the background. So that mode is known as item invoice mode, and the third mode is accounting invoice mode. I will demonstrate the use of each mode at a later time. So for this entry we will use the voucher mode, which means that we are going to record a journal entry. Now let's record the entry. Press the F9 key to open purchase voucher. By default, I am in the item invoice mode. So in this mode we can record the entry in this way. In order to record entry in item invoice mode, we need to have these following items created. So how do we create those items will be explained in the next section. So in order to change the mode to voucher mode, where we can pass the journal entry, press Ctrl V. So now we can pass a journal entry for purchase over here. We will first change the date on which we are recording this entry. So we are recording this entry on 2nd of July. So change the date to 2nd of July over here and press enter. In the supplier invoice number field, enter the bill number which is on the invoice and press enter. And in the date field, type the date on which the invoice was generated. So the date on the invoice is 1st of July, so enter that date over here and press enter. In the credit field, select the cash account and press enter. So you will get a screen where you need to provide details about the supplier. So here you can enter details like the name of the supplier, its address, and any sales tax number if you have. So entering all these details is optional, but I am showing it for learning purpose. So after entering all the details, press Ctrl A and enter the amount in the credit field and press enter and debit the purchase account. So as soon as you enter the amount in the debit column and press enter, you will get a screen for inventory allocation. So over here you can type the name of the items which you have purchased. So as of now we did not create any stock items which can be recorded over here. So I will just skip this step and press Ctrl A to exit from that screen. Press the enter key and provide the narration. After providing the narration, press Ctrl A to save the entry. So that's how we record the purchase entry. Now let's proceed to record the next entry. So this entry is a sales entry. So the journal entry is cash account debit to sales account credit. So let's record this entry in Tally. Press the F8 key to open sales voucher creation. So right now by default I am in the item invoice mode. So to change the mode to voucher mode, where we can record the journal entry, press Ctrl V. So now we will first change the date, which is 3rd of August 2019. In the field reference number, you can specify a custom number or a custom name by which you can recognize this sale. For example, if I am making this sale for order number 10, then I can just specify the name over here, order number 10. So the reference number is not the invoice number. The invoice number by default is number 1. So by default the sales invoice number in Tally begins with number 1. You can also specify your custom invoice number series and I will show you how to do that in the later part of this course. Now press the enter key and debit the cash account. Before entering the amount, you will be asked for the details regarding the buyer and regarding the transporter. So you can provide the details if you want to do so. And enter the amount in the debit field and press enter. And in the credit field, select sales account. So again you will be asked to provide details regarding the items which you have sold. So until we create those items, we cannot enter those details right now. So just skip this step by pressing Ctrl A and save the entry. So the next entry is a purchase entry, and this time it is a credit purchase. So let's find out how to record a credit purchase entry. Press the F9 key to open purchase voucher and change the mode to voucher mode by pressing Ctrl V, and change the date to transaction date, which is 7th of September 2019, and press enter. And let the supplier invoice number be 101, and let the invoice date be the same date as the entry date. Press the enter key and credit the supplier's account, which is Alpha Electricals, and provide any supplier specific details like its address and so on over here, or you can just skip these details, and enter the amount in the credit column, which is rupees 3000. Now press the enter key. So as soon as you press the enter key, you will be presented with this screen. So this screen is referred as bill-wise details screen. Here you need to provide details related to this invoice. So this will help Tally to keep track of this invoice. For example, in future when you record payment entry towards this supplier, Tally will prompt you whether the payment is for this invoice or for any other invoice from the same supplier. So this is how Tally keeps track of each invoice. Now let's enter the information over here. For every new purchase, select the type of reference as new reference. So since this purchase is unique from other purchase, therefore we need to create a new reference for it. And I will explain use of remaining options in the future transactions. For now, select the option new reference and press enter. And in the name, by default the supplier invoice number will be taken as the default value. So over here you can either keep this default value, which is the invoice number, or you can specify any other name which you can remember. So tomorrow when I make payment towards this supplier, Tally will prompt me with a list of references with its respective name. So I can select the name order number 105 and specify that I am making payments towards this invoice or for this order. And for this example, I will retain the default name, which is the invoice number, and press enter. Now in the field due date, you can either specify the due date, or you can specify the number of credit days which are provided for this invoice. Or suppose if I am asked to clear this amount by 45 days, then I need to enter the number of days followed by the letter D and press enter. So you can see that Tally has auto calculated the due date. So all the required information is entered now, and press Ctrl A to save those details and debit the purchase account. Again you will be asked to provide the inventory details. So right now, until we don't create the inventory items, we cannot enter those details over here. So skip this step by pressing Ctrl A and save the entry by pressing Ctrl A. Now let's record the next entry. It's a credit sales transaction. So let's see how do we record this entry in Tally. Press the F8 key to open sales voucher and change the mode to voucher mode and set the transaction date, which is 11th of October 2019. I'm not going to provide any reference number over here, and I will debit the buyer's account. So I don't want to provide any details like buyer's address or transporter's details, so I'll skip those details as well and enter the amount in the debit column and press enter. As soon as I press the enter key, the bill-wise details screen will appear. Here I need to create a new reference with respect to this sale so that it can be tracked in future. So I will select the option as new reference since it is a new sales. By default, the name field will contain the invoice number, so I can change it to anything which I can remember. So I will change it to something like Super Stationery order number 1. And the due date which I have allowed is 15 days, and just accept the remaining details and credit the sales account and skip this step and save the transaction. Now let's record the next transaction. So this transaction is related to a bank transaction. So whenever you record a bank deposit transaction or bank withdrawal transaction, we use a voucher called contra. So how do we use that voucher? Let's find out. Press the F4 key to open contra voucher. So this voucher is specifically used for recording bank related transactions. So whenever you want to record bank deposit or withdrawals, we can use this voucher. So to record this entry, we will first set the transaction date, which is 12th of November, and credit the cash account by rupees 10,000. Now press the enter key and debit the bank account. Since bank account ledger doesn't exist, so we need to create one. So press Alt C and create the bank ledger. I have entered all the required details to create this ledger, and I'll press Ctrl A to create the ledger. The amount in the debit field will be pre-filled, and press the enter key. So you will be provided with a screen called bank allocations. So what this screen is used for will be explained in the banking section. Now press the enter key again. The screen for cash denominations will be appeared. So here you need to provide the information regarding the denomination which you have deposited. So suppose if I have deposited 10 notes of rupees 500 and 50 notes of rupees 100. So I can enter that information over here and save those details by pressing Ctrl A, and further save the bank allocation screen by pressing Ctrl A and save the entry as well. So this is how you record bank payments using contra voucher. You can record the same entry using the payment voucher. So press the F5 key. Over here press the F12 key and enable the option use payment receipt as contra voucher to yes to record bank related entries, and press Ctrl A to save those settings. So if I want to record the same entry, then I can do it by debiting the bank account and crediting the cash account. So it is a common practice to record bank payments and bank withdrawals using the payment and receipt vouchers respectively. Now let's proceed to record the next transaction. It is a purchase returns transaction. So let's see how do we record this in Tally. To record purchase returns and sales returns in Tally, we need to enable few options in Tally. To do so, press the F11 key and change the option use debit and credit notes to yes, and press Ctrl A to save those settings. Now to record purchase returns, press Ctrl F9. So this will open the debit note voucher. Enter the voucher entry date, which is 15th of December, and press enter. In the field original invoice number, enter the invoice number of the purchase against which you are returning the goods. So the invoice number over here is 101 and the date of the invoice was 7th of September 2019. Now debit the supplier's account by ₹1000. The bill wise details screen will show up. So earlier when we created the reference for the purchase which we made, so those purchases will be displayed over here. So we need to select the purchase invoice against which we are making this return. So select the option against reference and select the bill against which you are making the return. So right now we only have one bill because we just recorded only one purchase entry. So in real world there could be more than one invoice listed over here which you can select. So let me just select this bill and press Ctrl A to select the details and credit purchase returns account. Now and press Ctrl A to skip this step and save the entry. So this is how you record purchase returns in Tally. Now let's record the next transaction, which is a sales returns transaction. To record sales returns, press Ctrl F8. The screen for credit note voucher will appear. Change the date of the voucher entry date, which is 18th of January 2020. The invoice number against which the buyer has returned goods is number 2 and the date of the supply was 11th of October 2019. Now credit the buyer's account by ₹500 and select the bill against which the buyer has returned the goods and debit sales returns. Skip this step and press Ctrl A to save the entry. Now let's record the next transaction, which is a payment transaction. So we are making a payment to the supplier against bill number 101. So let's see how do we record this entry. To record the payment entry, we use the payment voucher. So press the F5 key. Change the date of the voucher entry, which is 12th of February 2020, and debit the supplier's account by ₹2000. So again we are making the payment against the bill number 101. So you can see that Tally has been updating the amount information. So earlier the bill amount for this invoice was rupees 3000, out of which 1000 worth of goods were returned. So the net balance which is liable to be paid is rupees 2000, which is calculated by Tally. So select the bill against which we are making the payment. So there could be more than one bill present over here, so you need to select the appropriate invoice towards which you are making the payment. So I'll select this bill and I will credit my cash account because I am paying the amount in cash, and press Ctrl A to save the entry. So alright, so we are done with most of the entries, and I guess we are left with only one entry, which is the closing stock entry. So at the end of the year the closing stock was valued at rupees 15,000. So we need to update this information in our books. So to do so, open the profit and loss account statement and press Alt F1 to expand the details. So over here on the right hand side you would be able to see the closing stock information over here. So this information is not yet updated. So it is showing the same amount of rupees 40,000 which was entered as the opening stock. So to change this information, navigate to the field opening stock and press enter, and over here navigate to the field closing balance and enter the date as the last day of the financial year, and enter the closing stock amount and press enter and press Ctrl A to save the information. So sometimes you may not be able to see the closing stock information. That is because if you notice the date range, you can see that the profit and loss statement is showing information which is up to 12th of February 2020. So press the F2 key and change the period to 1st of April 2019 to 31st of March 2020 and press enter. Okay, so now you will be able to see the closing stock information over here. So that was all about recording various entries. The objective of this section was to make you aware with the Tally's environment with respect to recording entries. In the next section we will start to maintain stock information. We will learn how to create stock items and record purchase and sales in item invoice mode.
Thank you for watching. And please like and subscribe our channel.